want to thank you for joining me for episode number 25 of MidMOMama. My name is Jenny and I live in Sedalia, Missouri in the United States, where I am making in the Midwest. My program is about yarn crafts and food, like recipes, and whatever else I decide I want to talk about. And in today's episode, I have a giveaway winner from MidMOMama's anniversary giveaway. I have two recipes. I'm going to share the Meatball Sub Cupcakes, and I am going to share with you an Almond Macaroon cherry pie. It was a hit. I can't wait to share it with you. It was such a beautiful recipe, and I came home with one slice, so it was great. I'll tell you more about that in Mama Bakes. And I finished some stuff. So if that stuff sounds like stuff you're interested in, then I encourage you to stick around and we will get to those things as time rolls on. So let's get on with the show. I am delighted to announce my giveaway winner of the MidMOMama anniversary giveaway. I am so happy. I love the prize that I'm giving. I feel like my prize is actually like a really super duper prize. And I don't know what other people give away. I've seen, I've given away a yarn here and a yarn there, but this, to me, this is a spectacular anniversary giveaway. So I hope every anniversary I'll have a spectacular giveaway. But let me go over the prize before I announce the winner. So you're not getting the bag. This is just a shopping bag from Joann Fabrics. It says procrastinating. It's a verb. To defer all other activities besides knitting. That's what procrastinating is. But you're not going to get the bag. You're going to get the contents of the bag. So inside the bag, we have a wonderful book. It is called Biscuits, Butter, and Blessings, Farm Fresh Devotions of Hope and Comfort by Linda Kozar. It is a devotional book and contains recipes inside. That by itself is a fairly decent prize, I would say. But you're going to get a whole array of yarn in addition to the devotional. So the first two skeins of yarn they're going to get is the Madeline Tosh DK, which is 100% merino. They're going to get two skeins of the colorway Magic. Amazing. Two. Not just one, two. And in addition to that, they are going to get two skeins of Nerd Girl yarns in Foxy DK, which is 85% Polworth and 15% silk. Two skeins of Radstorm, which go together. They go together. They harmonize. They are a match made in harmony heaven. So not only do you get the 4 skeins of yarn, but you get the devotional all in one prize. Unbelievable. I almost feel bad giving this stuff away. I'm like, oh, I really, because I love the fact that they matched. But that's okay. I like green, but it isn't necessarily my color, and that's probably what prompted me to give it away. Plus, I wanted a really spectacular giveaway, and so I really had to go through and decide, well, what would be a really good one, and so I felt like that was the one. That was the one that was calling out to me to give away. So the winner is going to receive hours and hours of delightful enjoyment for crafting and for passing the time, reading little inspirational devotions. So without further delay, the grand prize winner of MidMOMama's anniversary giveaway is Crystal! Congratulations to you, Crystal. I am very happy to share this prize with you. I have already sent Crystal an email, so I will ship her prize once she responds to my email. Crystal, you have 90 days from the date that I sent my email to claim your prize, okay? If you don't claim your prize within 90 days, you will forfeit and I will redraw a winner, okay? So, you know, who wouldn't respond to an email of winning? So, you know, my sincere intent is to give her her prize. So, just reach out to me, Crystal, and the contents of this bag is all yours. Disclaimer. YouTube is not a sponsor of my contest, and participants release YouTube from any and all liability related to my contest. Okay, so congratulations, Crystal. Let's move on to the next segment. And now it's time for Mama Crafts. And I finished something today. Well, I finished it last night. I finished my rose diamond art. Isn't that glorious? I don't know if it shows up sparkle. I'll try to get the sparkles to activate. It is such a beautiful rose. It's the most beautiful rose I have ever made. But it's lovely. It turned out really, really well. I used the Rose Diamond Art Beginner Kit that you can buy at Hobby Lobby. I have a link in my show notes. Everything that I have a link on is in my show notes, and my show notes are always found on my website. I have a Wix website, and in my description block of every video is the link to my website. So if there's anything you see in my program that you want more information about, my show notes are always available on my website with all active links, okay? So if you're interested in trying diamond art, and you're interested in this particular one, it'll take you to the link of this pattern on Hobby Lobby's website. But I love this. It turned out really beautifully, and I am going to frame it, and I'm going to give it to my daughter Audrey in Alaska, and I think she will be delighted with it. I think I'm going to get a white frame like I did the other two that I finished. Well, I didn't do the other two. I did the llama one, and my friend Tiffany did the circus elephant. But I put those up in my Sunday school class, and I put them in white frames, and I think I'm going to put a white frame. I'm going to do this one in a white frame as well. But I think it's beautiful. It came out so pretty, and it just glitters all over the place. I mean, just those faceted dots are just wonderful. And guess what? My husband, I was working on this last week, and my husband asked me to get a kit for him. And he said, do they have a wolf? And I said, of course they have a wolf. And so he said, well, bring up all the wolves, and I'll pick one. So he did. He picked out a wolf design that he really, really liked, and I ordered it for him, and he started doing diamond art with me last night. So Tuesday I have diamond art with my husband, and on Thursday I have diamond art with my friend Tiffany. And now I get 2 opportunities a week to work on my rose, which is why I'm done with it, because I wasn't quite done with it on last Thursday. And so I finished it last night, and I am delighted. I'm not going to show you what I'm going to work on next. I have plans. I have a kit already. But I haven't started working on it yet, so I'm not going to show it to you. You know, got to save some mystery. There's got to be some mystery in the relationship that we have, right? If I showed you everything I'm about to work on, you'd be like, oh. So I have to keep the mystery alive. But I will show you next time what I'm working on, because I plan to start it tomorrow night with my friend Tiffany. But I'm very pleased with my rose. It's a very pretty rose. I'll show it to you guys after I frame it. I haven't got the frame yet. I will. The other thing, I have it categorized as currently work in progress, simply because obviously I'm not finished, but I did reach my goal this past Monday night at knit night. I finished the back panel of my sweater. Let me tell you the pattern. It is Janet Guthrie by Ann Hansen, and the yarn I'm using is Knit Picks Brava Sport in Silver, Coral, and Caution. And I was using Knitter's Pride US 6 needles. But I have finished the back panel, and I could not be more delighted. Let me show you what it looks like. I started weaving in some of the ends while I was at knit night, because I finished it and I had about 20 minutes before the restaurant was about to close, because we knit at Panera Bread. So they were about to close, and I was able to get, probably about a half a dozen ends woven in. But here we are. We're at the end. This is the back of my Janet Guthrie. So this comes up, it'll go across my back this way. You know, and then I'll make a front panel, which will have the polo style collar. My stuff is all... I don't like if stuff's not centered. I have centering issues. Isn't that silly? But one thing I did not do, I did not do waist shaping, simply because I totally forgot about it. I knitted past the point where I needed to start it, and I thought, well, I ain't going back. I ain't going back unless I've done some horrendous failure. So there is no waist shaping, so it's just going to be a straight seam. The garter stitch edge, I don't think it will pull in. I really don't. So it will be kind of just a straight, and I guess that would give me a little bit more forgiving of a silhouette in the event that I gain more weight or whatnot. So, you know, it doesn't hurt to have a straight fit. But this is the side, and this is my armhole, okay? And then this is the neck, comes up the back of my neck, and a collar is going to be added to it, a fold down collar. And then this is the other side, the other armhole. And then the other side. This is the side that's got all the ends that I need to weave in. So I wove in down to about here. So I have this to go. So I've only done those ones. But that's okay, you know. But I am delighted with the back of it. And I do plan to cast on the front at some point, but I have another project that I want to start, and I'm going to start swatching for it this afternoon. But I'm not going to tell you what it is, because it gives you something to look forward to for next episode. Although I think I talked about it. I don't know if I had. But I haven't started it yet, and I figured since I haven't even started the swatch, then once again, we'll keep the mystery alive, and I'll tell you what I'm going to be working on next time. So, yes, I have to say, I am delighted with my progress. Oh, and this is how much I did since the last time we had a show. So, this is my Hope stitch marker, and I had just started the yellow row. And then I'm up here. And then here we are. So, I think that's come out great. Now, I have to say, mine came out, I had to do a few more rows than they did to get the same inches. So, where they had 9 color rows, I ended up with 13. So I guess that means that my gauge is smaller than theirs. Do I knit tighter? I guess I knit tighter if I had to have more stripes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I just lied to you. I only had to do 1 extra row of stripes. 10 row of stripes. Let me count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, that's okay. I only had to do 1 extra row of stripe to get the same length at the measurement. So it's okay. And yeah, I only ended up with one coral stripe at the top, where I was doing 2 coral and 1 caution, 2 coral. But up here, it's not that big a deal. I don't find that to be off. It's just exactly fine. I guess I could have remained in gray, in silver, all the way up after the caution, but I think this is good. And as long as I match on the front what I did on the back, it'll line up just fine. Don't you think? I mean, common sense tells you that it would, wouldn't it? So, I am, like I said, ad nauseum, I am delighted with what I've done so far. But I'm also going to start something new, and I'll show that to you next episode. And I may swap back and forth, because I really would like to have this one and the other thing for summer. Yeah, the other one is, I will do a teaser. The other one is going to be a top too, a knitted top. So, that's what my happiness is. Oh, and I have it in my Geeky Girls Knit project bag. I used to watch Geeky Girls Knit podcast, and so I've participated in some of their stuff that they had for sale, pattern releases and stuff. You know, I've never knitted one of their patterns, but I bought them. And that bag, I like that bag. That's a great sweater bag. And garment bag. At any rate, that's it for Mama Crafts. So let's move on to the next segment. And now it's time for Mama's Pattern Showcase. And this is the part of the show where I show the top patterns out there on Ravelry, but I make sure that I feature patterns that are also available from other sources. So I am delighted to show you, I always show 5 patterns. Last time I did 2 crochet patterns and 3 knit patterns. So this time I'm going to do 3 crochet patterns and 2 knit patterns. So the first pattern I would like to showcase, I always do crochet first because alphabetically crochet comes before knitting. But, so the first pattern I would like to showcase is called Modern Classic Baby Blanket by Kirsten Holloway. This pattern is number 1 on the Crochet Top 20. You can purchase it on Ravelry for $8 or you can get it for free at Kirsten Holloway Designs website. This is a beautiful baby blanket done in DK weight using an eye hook, 5.5 millimeter. Sizes available: you can make a receiving blanket, a crib blanket, a toddler blanket, a small throw, a large throw, a twin size blanket, a queen size blanket, or a king size blanket. And it's all done in U.S. crochet terminology. This elegant vintage style blanket comes in 5 sizes on my site. 3 additional sizes are included in the paid PDF, which is $8. So you get 3 additional sizes for $8. So you can get 5 sizes for free. It says this crochet pattern is available for free on my website, or you can download it here on Ravelry as a print optimized ad-free PDF for your convenience. It's an easy to intermediate pattern. It uses techniques post stitches, puff stitches, cross stitches, half double crochet, and the third loop. Half double crochet in the third loop. Okay. And she gives you instructions on how to do a third loop, half double crochet. Gives you additional notes. But I tell you what, the pictures are beautiful. This blanket is absolutely glorious. So I recommend you take a look at the Modern Classic Baby Blanket by Kirsten Holloway. The second crochet pattern I would like to showcase is called Primula Scarf by April Garwood. This pattern is number 2 on the Crochet Top 20. You can purchase it on Ravelry for $2 or you can get it for free at Banana Moon Studio website. It is a scarf using DK yarn in a hook size J, which is a 6 millimeter. There's one size. It's 3¼ inches by 72 inches. It uses U.S. crochet terminology. Primula Scarf is an easy crochet infinity scarf made in 4 colors of City Tweed DK from We Crochet, aka Knit Picks. Oh, it's a Knit Pick scarf. It is a lightweight infinity scarf perfect for adding to your look when you need just a bit more warmth. And you can get the free version of this pattern on her website, or you can purchase the ad-free PDF here on Ravelry. And she says, get my latest patterns, reviews, and tutorials in your inbox when you subscribe to her newsletter. And you can always find her latest information at bananamoonstudio.com. Happy crochet. It is a lovely scarf, and that is Primula Scarf by April Garwood. And the third crochet pattern I would like to showcase is called Spring Cardi by Sarah Ruane. This pattern is number 6 on the Crochet Top 20. You can purchase it on Ravelry for $5.50. Oh, no, it is not. You can purchase on Ravelry for €5.50, which is about $6.93 US dollars. Or you can get it for free at Ned and Mimi website. It is crocheted. It's a cardigan crocheted with DK weight and a size G 4 millimeter crochet hook. This pattern is available from extra small to 5X. So 9 sizes. U.S. crochet terminology. This spring cardi is a lightweight cardigan with a stylish and simple texture. This crochet cardigan pattern is written for 9 sizes to fit bust measurements as follows, and they give you a list of bust measurements starting from 28 inches all the way to 62 inches. This cardigan has a classic but comfortable fit with approximately 3 to 5 inches positive ease on the bust. This cardigan is super simple to create. Just crochet 2 rectangles, add sleeves and a seam. It is a great pattern for a confident or adventurous beginner. The pattern PDF includes full schematics with detailed measurements in inches and centimeters for both the rectangle and the finished cardigan. Excellent. She offers the PDF pattern for free if you subscribe to her newsletter. She'll give you a promo code for any one of her Ravelry patterns to get for free. Or you can just get it free off of her website, nedandmimi.com. That's fantastic. And that is, once again, that is Spring Cardi by Sarah Ruane, R-U-A-N-E. Lovely. So, on to the 2 knit patterns on the pattern showcase. The first pattern I would like to showcase is called Birdseed by Jamie Hoffman. This pattern is number 2 on the Knitting Top 20. It is free on Ravelry, and it is also free at Knitosophy website. It's knit using DK weight yarn. Everything's DK so far. And you're going to use 3 needle sizes during this knit. You'll use a 5, 6, and 7. The pattern is available in an abundance of sizes. We've got 5, 10, 14, 18, 19 sizes. Wow! This pattern is available in 19 sizes. It says, as I worked on this late winter design, the birds were in full motion outside my window. We keep our bird feeders full, so replenishing them is a constant but joyous chore. I've always dreamed of designing a sweater with a seed stitch yoke, and I couldn't help but think of birdseed as this garment came together. Birdseed features a wide neckline with a seed stitch yoke that fades into stockinette. The sleeves are slightly billowy. It is intended to fit with little to no ease, but sizing up will lend more ease. This pattern is designed for 19 sizes. For better clarity, tables with stitch and repeat counts, as well as measurements, are provided throughout the instructions. The birdseed chart depicts the transition from seed stitch to stockinette in the yoke, and written instructions for the chart are included. All her patterns are size inclusive, so you can knit from bust size from 28 inches up to 64 inches. Intended to fit with 0 to 1 inch of positive ease. The upper sleeves are intended to fit with 1 to 1.5 inches of positive ease. Review the schematic on page 10 when choosing a size. For greater ease in the bust and or bicep, size up. Pictures show size E, on a 37-inch bust. Beautiful pattern. It is lovely, and I think anyone would enjoy it. The pattern is available in English and Spanish on both her website and on Ravelry. So check that out. That is Bird Seed by Jamie Hoffman. And finally, why is that? Okay. I didn't mean to do that. I got Click Happy. Okay. And then the final knit pattern I would like to showcase today is called Cable and Swirl Baby Blanket by MidMOMama Crafts. This pattern is number 7 on the Knitting Top 20. It is free on Ravelry and at MidMOMama Crafts website. This Cable and Swirl Baby Blanket is knit using DK. All the patterns that I've showcased today feature DK pattern weight, and which happens to be the weight of the yarn in my giveaway. So Crystal, if you're watching, these are some pattern ideas you could use. Just keep your ear open. But let's see. This blanket is 36 inches in diameter, and it uses US 5 knitting needles. This pattern is available as a free free Ravelry download, as well as a free pattern on the website. Let's see, this blanket is knit repeating each row of the chart 10 times in the round. Stitch sequences outlined denote rows of segments of the chart that are repeated in the round. Stitch sequences outlined in the other color denote repeats that are simplified from the chart. Check the written instructions for correct stitch counts. When the number of stitches in a round changes, the new stitch count is written at the end of the round in a different color. The pattern is free until March 15th, 2021. So if you really like this pattern, which is absolutely beautiful, then I would suggest you get on the horn and get that pattern for free, because I think it's going to be worth every penny. But you only have until the 15th of March to buy it. So check that out. That is Cable and Swirl Cable and Swirl Baby Blanket by MidMOMama Crafts. So in order to recap, the 3 crochet patterns is Modern Classic Baby Blanket by Kirsten Holloway, the Primula Scarf by April Garwood, and the Spring Cardi by Sarah Ruane. Those are the 3 crochet patterns. And then the 2 knit patterns I showcased was Birdseed by Jamie Hoffman and Cable and Swirl Baby Blanket by MidMOMama Crafts. So that concludes Mama's Pattern Showcase. Let's move on to the next segment. And now it's time for Mama Cooks. And I made a recipe from the internet, okay? The recipe is called Meatball Sub Cupcakes. And it came from plainchicken.com, okay? The link in my show notes goes directly to the recipe on the website, okay? But why did I make these? I made these for New Year's Eve. Last time I showed you the shrimp dip that I made a dip, and I made these Meatball Sub Cupcakes for the New Year's Eve get together that we went to. It was a small group of about 8 people. So we had it's made with crescent roll dough, and you could either get the actual crescent rolls, but they also now sell the crescent roll dough in sheets that are not perforated. And I use the non-perforated sheets. But if all you have are the perforated crescent rolls, you can absolutely use them. You just, seal the seams, seal them, on the perforations, and then use them that way. But it was very simple. It was very simple to make. So you cut the crescent roll dough in squares, and then you put them in your regular sized muffin cups, and then you make a cream cheese, mozzarella, Italian seasoning, and you put a dollop in each of the muffin cups, and then you put a frozen meatball on top of the cheese mixture, and then you sprinkle them again with mozzarella cheese, and you have these fantastic Meatball Sub Cupcakes. And I thought they were delicious. They make a good appetizer or a party food, but they're also good for dinner. You can make these for supper, with a side of green beans or salad or whatever you like for a side. But I thought these were good. You could eat them for a meal. You eat 2 or 3 of them as a meal. But I thought they were really delicious, and they were surprisingly good. Oh, and they require spaghetti sauce too. So after you put the meatball on there, you pour spaghetti sauce on that, and then sprinkle it with the cheese, and it comes out really delicious. I thought they were good. I'll make them again sometime, because I really thought they were flavorful and really delicious, and they were soft and warm. So, without further delay, this is how I made Meatball Sub Cupcakes. For Meatball Sub Cupcakes, you will need 1 tube, 8 ounces crescent roll dough sheet, half a brick, 4 ounces cream cheese softened, 3/4 teaspoon Italian seasoning, 1 cup shredded mozzarella divided, 12 frozen Italian-style meatballs, 1 1/4 cups spaghetti sauce. Preheat oven to 375 degrees. Spray 12 regular-sized muffin cups with cooking spray. Remove dough from tube. If you have the kind with seams, seal the seams and roll or press into an 18 by 8 inch rectangle. Cut dough into 12 squares. Press squares into muffin cups. Combine the cream cheese, Italian seasoning, and half a cup of mozzarella cheese, and distribute them evenly among the 12 dough cups. Place a frozen meatball on top of the cheese mixture and top each meatball with 2 tablespoons of spaghetti sauce. Sprinkle with remaining mozzarella cheese. Bake 15 to 18 minutes or until golden brown. And that's how you make Meatball Sub Cupcakes. And now it's time for Mama Bakes. And just before one, I am about to knock your socks off, because I made a pie recently that was just out of this world delicious. It is called Almond Macaroon Cherry Pie, and I got it from this Taste of Home cooking school 50th anniversary cookbook. I'm going to show you a picture of it, because mine didn't turn out the way the picture did, because I put my topping all over it. I didn't just keep it to the edges like the picture did. Where are you? Oh, here we go. Look at this picture. It's amazing. That's what it looks like in the picture. And our church had our very first, well, we had a Christmas family gathering, but our church had our very first, what we're about to call our third Sunday fellowship. And so on the third Sunday of every month, we're going to have a potluck lunch after worship. And so we had a soup and chili theme for our potluck. And so we were bring soup or chili and, dessert. Well, Scott wanted to make his chili, so I didn't make a main dish. I made the dessert. So this pie was phenomenal. It was very simple to make, and it was beautiful, and it tasted amazing. I'd cut mine into eight pieces, and I came home with one slice, and I ate it. I'm thankful I got a chance to taste it, but everyone who tried it told me how much they liked it. So that means it was a hit, If I had come home with a completely empty pie pan, I probably would have been disappointed because I wouldn't have been able to taste it. Because one, my husband doesn't like cooked fruit. So if I had to make a second pie, I would have had to eat the whole pie by myself. That's not good for my body, to eat a whole pie by myself. But it was amazing. It was an amazing pie. It had, used cherry pie filling, it called for cinnamon. There was coconut and almonds on the topping, along with some almond extract. It was so good. It was such a good pie. And it would have been good with ice cream. I didn't put ice cream on mine, and I didn't bring any ice cream to put on it. It was just fine without ice cream. It was very, very good, and I loved it. So I'm going to quit talking about it and show you how I made almond macaroon cherry pie. For almond macaroon cherry pie, you will need 1 can, 21 ounces cherry pie filling, 1 teaspoon lemon juice, ½ teaspoon ground cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon salt divided, 1 unbaked pastry shell 9 inches, 1 cup flaked coconut, ½ cup sliced almonds, 1/4 cup sugar, 1/4 cup milk, 1 teaspoon butter melted, 1/4 teaspoon almond extract, 1 egg beaten. In a large bowl, combine pie filling, lemon juice, cinnamon, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. Spoon into the pastry shell. Bake at 400 degrees for 20 minutes. Remove from oven. In a bowl, combine remaining salt and all remaining ingredients. Mix well. Carefully spoon around the edges over the fruit mixture. Return to the oven and bake 15 to 20 minutes longer or until crust and topping are golden brown. Cover pie with foil during the last 5 to 10 minutes of baking to prevent excess browning if desired. And that's how you make almond macaroon cherry pie. And now it's time for Mama Reads. And I finished a couple of books this time. I finished the audio book that I was listening to. It was called I'll Be Gone in the Dark, One Woman's Obsessive Search for the Golden State Killer by Mcnamara. And it was good. It was interesting. I learned a lot about the Golden State Killer. He was also known as the Ear, the East Area Rapist. And he was also known as the original Night Stalker but he was captured after Michelle McNamara passed away. She passed away suddenly, unexpectedly, in her sleep. So she didn't get to see justice served. But her husband, he is an actor. His name is Patton Oswalt. The only thing I know Patton Oswalt from is because he's in one of my favorite movies, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, with Ben Stiller in it. He plays the guy the eHarmony guy that picks him up from the airport in wherever LA, I guess, I can't remember. I think it was in LA. At any rate, that's not important, but Patton Oswalt was in that movie, and so that's how I know who Patton Oswalt is. But his wife passed away, and she was researching this serial killer, and so it was interesting to learn, about how the investigation progressed in search of the killer and rapist, and yeah, so that was interesting. I listened to something that I wouldn't typically listen to, but it was, I found it engaging. The other book that I finished was called Empowered: How God Shaped 11 Women's Lives and Can Shape Yours Too, by Catherine Parks. And I read it on my Kindle, and I really liked that book. So what she does is she takes 11 women that God used in a special way, doing special ministry but these were just ordinary women. They didn't set out, they didn't sit down and say, look, I'm going to do something great. They just did what they did, and what they did turned out to be a great thing. And it was all for the glory of God. And that was really good. And I highly recommend this if you are a young leader for a young ladies group. I think this book was written for ages probably 13 to 18. So if you happen to be a youth leader and you want to encourage the young ladies in your group, I would encourage this. This author, Catherine Parks, is currently working on a book called Stronger, and that one highlights 11 men who did great things for the glory of God. So if you wanted to, if you were like involved in a youth group and you wanted to, pair off with the gals and the guys do something for just the guys, you could easily do that. Each person was dedicated to a chapter. She would give a little bit of a history about what made this woman special. Then she would relate it to a character trait that relates to Scripture. And then it has discussion questions at the end of each chapter related to that woman's ministry. And another thing that I really liked about it was, yes, there are some familiar names among them, but there are also some that are less familiar, but no less important for what they did in ministry to the Lord. So you have bigger names like Fanny Crosby and Johnny Erickson Tata and Corrie ten Boom, but you also have some lesser known ones. There was a woman from Korea, a Korean woman who was a Christian, they were under Japan rule at the time, and it was against the law to be a Christian, and you know, she stood up for her Lord. There was a woman in India who helped. In India, girls are married at a very, very young age, and if their husband should pass away, these young ladies are virtually destitute. And so her ministry reached out to young widows, young widow ladies, and helped educate them and give them skills so that they can earn a living. And a couple of women featured were, slaves in the United States, and they did amazing things, in the help for the abolition of slavery and things like that. So the women that were featured in this book were very, very good selections. I think they would inspire just about any young lady as they grow in their own Christian faith. And like I said, it's not people that set out to do amazing things. It's just their life circumstances, paved the way for them to do these things. And there's now a historical account of what these people have done, and so it was worth it to read about. So I highly recommend Empowered. That was really good by Catherine Parks. And I'm still working on 1 Peter, A Living Hope in Christ by Jen Wilkin. Again, fabulous. I'm learning a lot. I'm growing. Really, really, really good. We're starting on. There are 3 chapters that deal with submission, and we're on the first chapter that's dealing with submission. And the modern American women have a lot of work to do. I think just plain old modern American society in general has a lot to do, a lot of work to do in regard to understanding what submission is. And, there's also been such a prolific abuse of authority that it really turns people off when we talk about submission in Christian circles. So I foresee some really engaging discussion as we go over this topic of submission, because it does not mean the actual concept of submission in a biblical worldview is entirely different than what society at large perceives it to be. And that's not to say that Christian people don't abuse their authority either. I mean, history reveals it. There's no doubt about it. But there is, we are called to be submissive in heart. So I'm looking forward to our discussion on that. So that's 1 Peter, A Living Hope in Christ by Jen Wilkin. And then the next book I'm just reading one other book right now. It's on my Kindle. It's called Yours Truly, Thomas by Rachel Fordham. And I read her first novel last fall. It was called The Hope of Azure Springs. And this one is a follow-up. It is not a sequel. You do not need to read The Hope of Azure Springs in order to catch on to yours truly, Thomas. But yours truly, Thomas, has really been interesting. I'm about 6 chapters in, and it's a guy who's settling there in Azure Springs, and he keeps writing these letters to a woman named Clara in Alexandria, Virginia. Well, this girl named Penny works at the dead letter office in Baltimore, and her job is to try to determine who this letter is supposed to go to and try to make an attempt to get it into the right hands. So it's been a very interesting story so far, and I'm enjoying it very, very much. Rachel Fordham, if you have not read her books before, she's a very good storyteller, I have to say. I really like this book. But that's it for currently reading. That's all I've been reading was just those two. So let's move on to the next segment. And now it's time for Miscellaneous Mama. And the weather has warmed up and the sun is shining. Yay! We were in such a heavy-duty cold snap for so many weeks, for 2.5 weeks. And I know that doesn't seem like very long, but when you're in it, it seems like a very long time. And the skies were overcast for so many days in a row, and the Lord has just blessed us with some sunshine. And even when it's cold, you know, the sunshine is just glorious. I love the sunshine. So as I mentioned before, we had our first Third Sunday fellowship at church, you know, in February, and it was a hit. We had a really good turnout. Not everybody came. Some people are still concerned about COVID, and we social distanced, and we had you know, plastic service gloves, and you know, the soup or chili was served by people rather than people just digging in themselves. You know, and people, you know, did their best to social distance. But it was wonderful to have a meal together, and so that was good. I started going back to knit night. You know, I didn't go during the cold snap. I just didn't want to be out in it. And there was a lot of foul weather, you know, snow and ice and stuff. So if I didn't have to go out, I didn't. So I went back to knit night a couple weeks ago, and now I went this past Monday. That was good. And my friend Elizabeth has been bringing her son with her the last couple times. His name is Levi, and he is such a precious little soul. I just love that little boy. So, so you know, she doesn't normally bring him, but her husband's been busy the last couple Mondays, so so she's brought him along with her, and we enjoy seeing him every bit as. You know, she prefers the break. She would rather, if possible, if she could leave him at home so she could just get a break. But we don't mind when she brings him with her, and it's fun to see him. And my WOW group has been getting together. We had a double session last Wednesday because we went. We didn't even meet the one Wednesday. And so we were 2 lessons behind, so we got all caught up last Wednesday, which was good. And let's see, I went back to see my folks. I didn't see them during the bad weather, but I went to see them last Wednesday, and then I'm going to go over and spend the afternoon with them today. So I'm looking forward to seeing them again. And we got together with my friends on Saturday night for dinner. Our friend Virgil had a birthday get-together at the Mexican restaurant in town, El Escalon. And so we had a good dinner with Virgil and his wife and a few other couples, and that was nice. And then I started an extra night of diamond art painting with my husband Scott. So I've been doing diamond art on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And so far I'm knitting on Mondays and usually on Wednesday afternoon when I go see my folks. I knit while I'm watching Gunsmoke because that's what we watch when I get to my folks' houses. We watch Gunsmoke. And I enjoy those actually. I never seen it before. I know my dad grew up watching it, but you know, we were always watching MASH reruns all the time. But I think Dad finally, after all these years, got burned out on MASH, and so now we watch Gunsmoke. And this is a whole new series for me. I didn't watch it like I said growing up, so I'm enjoying every episode so far. It's been real fun watching it. But that's all that's going on with me. Just, you know, trying to get back into the swing of things. People are being vaccinated for the COVID-19 vaccination, so people are feeling, you know, better about getting together with one another, and you know, we don't live in a place where they're having super high concentrations of outbreaks, so we can get together more often because people, for the most part, are healthy and they're feeling fine. There are people who are more cautious and they refrain from getting together. At our church, the main level is mask free, but we have a balcony, and people who choose to wear, you know, a mask, they come up to the balcony with us. My husband and I and a man named David, we all work the tech booth. David does sound and Scott does the live stream and I do the slides, and so we all sit up there on the balcony with our masks on. We're fine with that. But we don't close off our worship. You know, if you want to come in person and mask up, you certainly may. You know, and of course there's still a few people who still watch on Facebook, and that's fine. But yeah, so we're doing our very best to get back to normal because we need human contact. People need to get together with other humans, and so that's what we're doing. So let's move on to the next segment. And now it's time for MidMOMama. I want to thank you for joining me today. I know that watching my program is a choice, and I am grateful that you have chosen to spend a slice of your valuable time with me. If you enjoyed what you saw today, I encourage you to click subscribe. All that does is make it more easy for you to find me next time. If you wanted to, you could click the notification bell. It'll automatically send you a notice every time I upload a video. But if you're a subscriber, you know, you'll get a notice on YouTube whenever I upload. So, you know, however you want to do it. You can like my episode. If you don't want to like my episode, you don't have to. I post episodes on the first and third Thursday of every month. And my next episode will be March... what? Normally I try to tell people what my next episode will be. The 18th. So March 18th will be my next episode. So if you want to ask me any questions, you can comment down below and I will respond to you, or you can send me an email at midmomama2@gmail.com. And you can also find me on Goodreads. That's where I have my Goodreads account. And I'm no longer on social media, on Facebook or Instagram or anything like that. But I am on Ravelry. I guess you can reach out to me on Ravelry if you want to be a friend of mine. Or on Goodreads, either one. But I want to once again congratulate Crystal on winning the MidMOMama anniversary giveaway. I am delighted that she won. And until next time, may God bless you.